Hi there people, so my name is Ax and I'm an instant healing hypnotherapist. And in today's video, I thought I'll just go a bit off track and record this really candid video about the dark psychology that I have discovered in my transformation, how I became a hypnotherapist and the sort of stuff that I got myself involved in. So by the end of this particular video, you're going to know a lot about the psychology and how the universe operates and things you can do to live the best days of your life. So let's get started. Now let's start by how I became a hypnotherapist and where my journey actually began. Oh, good old days. Alright, so like everyone else, I had a really bad breakup. Now, it's usually when you are at your lowest point that I have observed that people have their sort of spiritual awakening. So that was my moment. So when I had that particular breakup, the girl that I was really involved with, uh, her mother kind of didn't like me. However, that meant that she had to leave me, and even though she wanted to be with me, she just couldn't under the family pressure and blah blah blah. Anyways, so when I lost all hope, I just asked myself, like, what can I do to get this girl? What is it that I can tap into, or whatever can I do just to get this girl into my life? And once I started thinking about all of these aspects, like what can I do, and I realized, so within the physical world, there isn't much I can do to fix this situation. Like I start planning, like if I do this, if I do that, I was thinking of life like a chess game. Like what can I play? What move can I make that is going to resolve this particular situation? But it didn't. So once I lost all the hope and I was like, all right, now I think I'm gonna need some therapy because this is really messing up with my head now. So once I started getting myself involved with how to heal myself, now I have what I feel is an entrepreneurial mindset, and because of that, I was like, what is it that I can do to heal all the stuff that I want to heal in the minimum amount of time? So I saw like the conventional therapy was way too expensive. People would go for years and years and still wouldn't get all the results. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna need some quick results. So I started focusing on hypnotherapy, and that got me so invested in understanding how hypnotherapy works, how our subconscious mind works. And that gave me a very great insight about what's happening in my life, because that is when I started understanding what my reality is, where is it coming from, and how can I fix it. So once I was uncovering hypnotherapy, uh, in my head I was like, all right, I need to figure out how to fix myself so that I can fix this particular situation. And I thought, even though that this girl loves me, why is she not with me? And that question took me to places where I started understanding how she's being influenced. And then I started learning that nothing in this world that we do, any decision that we make, nothing is random. We are always being influenced by something. While consciously we like to believe that, hey, we are in control of our life, we aren't. So I ask myself, what is it that's going inside her subconscious mind that's influencing her to be like this? Why can't she just have some guts to stand up and be like, hey, I want to be with you? What's stopping her? So then I realized that, all right, the sort of influence that she is in is at a very subconscious level, because at a conscious level she wants to be with me, but at a subconscious level she just can't be. So there is some kind of influence at a subconscious level. So once I started studying how influence works, I started understanding certain things, and I began to understand this really important factor, that the highest form of influence that can ever exist is when we are between the ages of 1 to 9, and I speak about this a lot in my videos. So between those particular ages, what I uncovered was that our subconscious mind is developing. So anything that we learn between the ages of 1 to 9, you are going to remember that for the rest of your life, because those ages is when our subconscious mind learns these new patterns. And I realized something. I was like, all right, so let's see, why do I keep going through relationship to relationship with the same dynamics where the girl just doesn't seem to value me, and even if she wants to be with me, she just can't be with me. So this particular theme is quite common. So I was like, what is influencing me to be in these kind of relationships? Because surely I am the only common person between all these relationships, so that means there's something wrong with me. And then I realized that what I'm doing in my relationships is a byproduct of how my childhood was. Because in my childhood, I sort of didn't have a good relationship with my father figure, and because of that relationship being very toxic and abusive, I developed certain traits. So I started studying. So if that's what happened with me and my dad, what's the sort of influence it is creating on me that's leading me to get inside these relationships where the pattern remains the same? And I realized something, which is like really crucial to understand, that the role of each of the parents have different influences on the people, and with regard to those different influences, the outcome is different. So in my case, there was a really prominent father wound. So I had to fix that, and I realized that if I fix my father wound, my tendency to seek validation from my partners or getting inside relationship where I'm not being valued is going to end, because that's what happens when you have a father wound, and the traits that are associated with the father wound are in deficit inside your subconscious mind. So just to recall, the traits that are regulated by the father are self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect, and sense of identity. Now, these 5 traits were in deficit inside of me. So since I was learning hypnotherapy, I was like, all right, so I can fix this. So if I fix my father wound, that should fix my pattern. And so I went inside my subconscious mind using instant healing hypnosis, because I am an instant healing hypnosis. So now I knew precisely where to look. So once I went between the ages of 1 to 9, I had to find the point of origin. Now this is one of the most important parts. This is something you don't get to learn in any hypnotherapy as well. If you can locate the point of origin for any particular pattern when it first started in your life, you can completely break that pattern. But the trick is you need to be able to identify the point of origin. And let me tell you how small can point of origin be. And that is going to give you a lot of insight about how dangerous our subconscious mind is. So I learned that for any kind of pattern to develop, or any kind of trauma bond, because what I had was trauma bond, I was getting inside multiple relationships that were playing the same traumatic theme of my childhood. So that's trauma bond. So I realized something. The way our subconscious mind stores information is in form of images. Now, here is something. All it takes for the subconscious mind to develop any pattern is if there was one single moment between the ages of 1 to 9 when you might have felt that emotional disconnect with your father or your mother. That one single moment can be recorded inside your subconscious mind, and as a result of that, whichever parent it is with regards to, the traits that are associated with that parent are influenced just by this one single image in the subconscious mind. You see how fragile our subconscious mind is between the ages of 1 to 9. All it takes is one moment. So once I went inside hypnosis, I located that one particular moment and I removed it. And once I removed it, I realized something. I was no longer seeking validation or even seeking to be with that particular girl anymore, and my emotions were gone. That's how easy it was. Let me tell you what happened next. Now I know there are many of you who do not believe in spiritual science. However, let me tell you something. Once I started working in hypnotherapy and trying to understand how the subconscious mind is, the sort of influences, here's something that I figured out. All these spiritual laws, such as law of attraction, law of resonance, law of expectancy, law of assumption, law of vibration, they are all talking about the same stuff. That's what I figured out. And I realized we are always manifesting everything into our life. But that manifestation is a byproduct of what's going on inside our subconscious mind. That's what we call our predominant neurological state, which is developed between the ages of 1 to 9. Now, if you understand how dark this can be, if something bad happened between the ages of 1 to 9, your subconscious mind will keep manifesting that into your life. And all it takes is one single moment to create a particular pattern or blockage. This is where you need to understand how fragile your subconscious mind is and how it can develop patterns, because all it takes is one single moment. How far are you going to go to save yourself from that one single moment? So yes, we all in some shape or form have certain blockages. Here's something that happened. Once I removed my father wound, things started shifting and they started changing really fast. Now, suddenly, all of a sudden, I felt like I just became a center of attention for everyone. Somehow, I had a lot of people just rushing towards me, trying to be with me. They loved me for who I am. They started loving my company and they just wanted to have more and more access to me. And I was a bit shocked at that time. I was like, how is this happening? And I didn't even knew how to respond to this particular feeling, to have so many people just going crazy after you. So I was like, all right, I want more of this. So what I did was, I did a pretty foolish thing now that I think of it. I was like, now that I finally have had my breakup, I'm ready to go out in this world and test out my new superpowers that I have learned. I was like, all right, let's focus on changing my neurological state and see how things manifest. So I was like, you know what? I want someone who's downright obsessed with me. Because come on, guys, you can understand if you have spent a long time in your life seeking people's validation. Once you get someone who's really obsessed with you, it sort of makes you feel good. And I'm not saying you should be doing this, but let me just tell you what happened. So I started realizing that in order to manifest something into my life, I need to have a neurological state inside my subconscious mind and in my body to manifest that into my reality. So I went inside my subconscious mind and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just enhance this self obsession. And I did. So I became really obsessed with who I am. Not like I was, going out there showing people that you are any less, but I was just obsessed with me. Anytime I would speak about myself, I'll speak with a lot of pride. And that happened. Now, if I'm not wrong, it took me approximately 10 to 12 days. And 12 days later, I met this girl who was downright obsessed with me. And boy, did I feel good. And I was like, holy smokes, this works. I mean, imagine my surprise that now I am in control of my life and all I'm doing is just fixing something here and there inside my subconscious mind and things are happening in my reality. And this girl was downright obsessed. However, for a few days, I started loving that energy, like she would be all around me, trying to have more of my time, and felt great in the beginning. However, with time, I realized why that is not a good idea. Because she became so obsessed with me, she was suffocating my freedom. She just wanted to, the way I like to say it, consume me, because she didn't want to leave the bits for anyone else. And that created a big hassle for me because I couldn't connect with anyone else in my life because she just wanted all of it. Self obsession is wrong, guys. So I was like, I need to fix this. I can't be with her because she's downright obsessed with me. If I start spending my life with her, she is going to cause a lot of chaos. I'm not saying that she was a bad person. I'm just saying that's not something I can live with. So I went inside my subconscious mind and I changed that self obsession into self love. Here is something that happened as a result of that. Now that my familiarity was with this new neurological state of self love, anyone that is not in alignment with this new neurological state will just fade away from my life, because that is law of attraction, law of vibration, law of resonance, law of expectancy, and law of assumption. That's all of the 5 laws. So once I came to self-love, that relationship just broke apart and I had the guts to end that particular relationship. Now the most interesting part. Remember the ex that I told you guys about, because of whom my spiritual journey started? She came back. Yep, good days of my life. So I was able to manifest her back and things were great. That relationship didn't work out, FYI. She had a lot of mother wounds. She just couldn't heal it, even though I tried to, help her out. But you can't heal someone who doesn't want to be healed. And since I was all trauma free, I was like, I'm trying to manifest you, make it easier for me. If you're not on the same vibration, we're going to fall apart. She just couldn't get what I was saying. So she had her mother wound, and that influenced her subconscious mind to the point that she had to break that relationship once again. But most importantly, did I feel bad? Nope. I'm in control of my subconscious mind now. So I didn't even feel any pain for the breakup, and I was glad she was gone. I still wish her happy. I still wish all of my exes to be happy, because I understand that they had their own childhood traumas. I can't blame them for how they behaved. I can't blame myself for how I behaved. But I think by learning all of these, you realize that a lot of the people are fighting their own internal battle inside their subconscious mind that you have no idea about. And trust me, guys, you guys have no idea. As a hypnotherapist, when I treat people, I can read through them. I can read through them. I can tell them what their past was, what their present is, what their future is going to be, because I understand how the subconscious mind works and how one single moment can make your entire life predictable for me. All I need to do is just to know what particular traits are in deficit or in excess inside your subconscious mind, and I can tell you the entire story of your life. So once that X was gone, and I had all these new magical tools that I learned from spiritual science, occult science, human psychology, and etc. etc. So I was like, what can I do with these? I was like, you know what? How about I try to manifest money? Because we need to understand, in order for us to live happy, we need to get our 4 primal needs satisfied. If we have these 4 primal needs satisfied, you can just be happy all the time. And let me explain those 4 primal needs, because you guys need to understand why it is so important. Now, we have 4 primal needs that we share with the animals. So this applies to everyone. So number 1 is our need to survive. Our subconscious mind has a need to survive. So it's going to make sure that there are no blockages when it wants to keep you alive. And that's why it stores a lot of the trauma inside your subconscious mind, so that you can remember them and you don't repeat the same mistake again in your life, because you need to survive. That's the science of trauma, just by the way. Now, the need to survive. Then the second need is the need to feed, because we need to be able to consume food and stay alive to sustain our body. So need to feed is on the second priority. All right. Now, after that, our third need is the need to reproduce, which is sex. Now, when we're talking about need to reproduce, that is our third primal need because we all have sexual needs. Then the fourth one is the need for social status. Now, the need for social status is that we all are looking for that social community to belong to. That makes us feel like we are a part of them. So, that kind of social need means it can be in terms of how much money you make. It can be in terms of how your social life is, how you go around with your friends, how many friends do you have. So social needs are different for everyone, but these are the four primal needs that you need to be happy all the time. Anytime these four primal needs are met, a person is just happy with joy. All right. So I was like, all right, so I want these four needs to be satisfied. So I want to make sure that I have no blockages inside my subconscious mind so that I can be happy every day. Because who doesn't want to be happy every day? So I removed the blockages with regards to need to survive, need to feed, need to reproduce, need for social status. Now, once I removed these, I realized something else as well. I started making more money. And how did that happen? I got really viral. Now, I can't just go around giving you the exact series of events, but that's how things just went. I got viral on Instagram, on YouTube, and that made me shit ton of money. How did that happen? You see, all I did was just remove my blockages, and my subconscious mind was able to manifest that without me even asking. And that's law of attraction, law of vibration, and all those laws are just applying onto my life. How awesome is that? So I realized a lot of the people also have money blockages that are a result of between the ages of 1 to 9, they might have had some wrong beliefs with regards to money, such as their parents saying, you know, making money is hard. So you install that particular belief inside the child, so the child will always struggle in their life to make money. So what is the belief that you need to do as parents for your children is just install the belief money comes to those who are rich. That's an affirmation as well. But if you condition your children to believe like that, they attract money easily as compared to telling them how hard it is to make money. Because if you do that, those are the money blockages that a lot of the people have. So once I removed my money blockages, I was also making a lot of money and I was happy with my life. So as a result of that, what actually happened is now I just am happy every day because all my four primal needs are being met on a daily basis. I have no blockages in manifesting these into my life. So, what I can tell you is your subconscious mind is like a really super powered kid. It's really super powered. It has a lot of superpowers that it can give you, but it's still a child. That's the reason we call it the inner child because it's really strong, but it has the mind of a child. So, what do we need to do? We need to understand how this inner child can be influenced so easily. It can be so easily manipulated into doing things that you would never want to do. But once you start healing your subconscious mind and connecting with your inner child, and healing your past traumas, life is going to change. Now you are in control of your life like I am, and a lot of my clients have experienced similar stuff happening in their life. Once you start removing blockages, life is not that unpredictable because you already know you're going to manifest everything that you're feeling inside. So everything starts with what are you feeling inside. That is your predominant neurological state. And what you are feeling is being influenced by the conditioning between the ages of 1 to 9. So this is the important part of this video. You need to analyze whatever happened between the ages of 1 to 9. That is where all the blockages are. That is where you need to look to free yourself and attract the life that you truly desire. Now, that is something I help my clients do as well in my 15 days instant healing program. And if that is something that you guys would love to join, so that I can teach you the art of instant healing hypnosis, where you can heal anything in less than 2 to 3 minutes. And I also teach you conversational hypnosis, because who doesn't want to have so much influence in any conversation? All it takes is like 1 minute, and people just feel magnetically attracted to you. That's conversational hypnosis. So if that is something that interests you guys, the way to enroll into my 15 days instant healing program is, first of all, you have to clear this free mini therapy session with me, where I will analyze your subconscious mind and observe what kind of objectives do you have. And if I feel like, hey, I can help you out, I'll enroll you into my program. However, before that, it might not be possible. So if that is something that interests you guys, you can sign up for the free mini therapy session. I'll leave the link down in the comments and in the description, so you guys can check it out. So I hope this video gave you guys a lot of understanding about how the subconscious mind works, how your entire life is in your hands. All you have to do is start working in there, and the outside reality will just shift as you desire. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a beautiful comment to show some love. Bye bye.